Hey there, how are you today? My name is Dana Demara, and you have landed on Astrocast. This is your weekly forecast for January 8th through the 14th. So, welcome to 2024. Welcome, welcome, welcome. um, I don't know if you listened to the forecast last week or not, but I want to just reiterate, I think this is really important that we remember that even though this year is a 8 universal year, massive abundance, infinite potential, let's make sure we remember to keep the word discernment at the very top of our list as we move through this life, really. We could say this year, but discernment is such key. It's such key in our life. When we discern, we allow ourselves to really use our deepest intuition. And that to me is every week, besides whatever theme we fall upon throughout this year, let's keep discernment and abundance in the mix. Okay. But as I look at the astrological forecast for the entire week, I'm really leaning toward the word freedom for our theme for the week. And when I think of freedom, I think of liberation. And part of the reason why I'm calling out this theme is, well, there's a couple of reasons. One is because we have a new moon Capricorn. New moon Capricorn coming up on the 11th. Beautiful, beautiful new moon. Very, very supportive and, manifesting your desires, writing out what it is that you want to create this year. That to me is more of a time to really step into 2024 than it is on January 1st. It just makes much more sense to me. But the other thing is that we have Pluto this year moving from Capricorn, been there since 2008, into the sign of Aquarius. And when we experience Pluto moving after 20 some odd years, it's kind of a big deal. So just keep that in mind, this whole idea of liberation, this whole idea of freedom. Freedom, I talked about it in class this morning. Sometimes if we think of the word freedom, we might think of what we define freedom as, right? So maybe it's freedom that we experience in this country that we live in. Jury's out on that, but I'll leave that for another podcast. But what I want to whittle it down to and even simplify it even more is this, and this is really important regardless of what is going on astrologically. If we can find the simplicity of being free from the moment before, in one breath, being free from the moment before, we have experienced liberation. And as Pluto moves from Capricorn to Aquarius, we are completely changing the way that we do things. If you haven't already noticed, it's happening right before your eyes. But as Pluto moves into Aquarius, by the end of the year, for real, for the next 20 years, we will feel a sense of freedom from the past. Now you get to decide what you're going to hold on to. That's the kicker, right? Let me just talk a little bit about the astrology, right? So again, let's remember this whole entire year is a universal 8 year, and 8 is the number of abundance and infinity and empowerment and, this never ending energy. Okay. But this week, Mercury will square Neptune, which will call to action clarity. So when you speak, right, Neptune is illusion, Mercury is clarity, communication. Don't allow yourself to get distracted. Find a sense of discernment. Know exactly what it is that you want to convey in your messaging. The sun's going to trine Uranus, which that is really going to drive home this idea of freedom and liberation. And Mars will sextile Saturn. Now, Mars is also in Capricorn. So this is why this new moon this week is really important and as a powerful player in bringing your manifestations to life, because Mars, the initiator, is in Capricorn. So it's wanting us to move forward, right? Sextiling Saturn, it's going to give you the patience and the perseverance that you need. But the overall theme for this week is this idea of freedom. And if you can just whittle it down to remembering that if you can be free from the moment before with one breath, you can pretty much do anything you want. Because being free from the moment before will do nothing but ripple out into the rest of your day, week, month, year, life. So that's what I have for you. I hope this is supportive. Make sure you listen to the new moon in Capricorn as well. And if you want your chart read for this year, please feel free to reach out to me. You can get me at dana@danadamara.com. It's right on my website. Happy to read your chart. You can also go to myastrocast.com, and that will get you just a bunch of information on basics of astrology. Thank you so much. Super happy to be here. Hope you have a beautiful day. Namaste.